welcome to Cover Story. This week we have with us former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit, and more importantly, she's also the Congress face, Chief Ministerial face for the UP elections. Welcome to NewsX, ma'am.
Thank you.
And also very tough time for you, middle of a very hectic campaign, and if I may say, a losing battle.
Yeah, it is tough because UP is not a small state, it's a very big state. So it takes up a lot of time and...
But what makes it tougher is the Congress is not doing very well.
No, it's doing much better than when we started. The round that we had of our buses going into every district, that brought in a lot of people out, out of their slumber or out of their laziness and all. So the response there has been very, very good. In fact, more than we had expected. But the media doesn't seem to talk about us. That is a bit of a
we talked about your cards
dilemma
and
or a problem or a dilemma, because we've had some very good public meetings also. And Rahul Gandhi's this Kisani, Yatra was very well received. I was in 3 or 4 of them. And extremely well received.
The problem with Rahul is I followed his campaign last time. I didn't go this time. He gets the crowds, they turn up for a sighting or whatever, but they don't translate into votes. That's still your problem.
That is true of everybody.
No, look at Samajwadi Party. That election was Akhilesh versus Rahul, 2 young dynasts, same USP. One got the votes, one didn't.
No, you see, this is what it is. Crowds do not necessarily mean votes. And that is true not only of Congress and Rahul or anybody, any individual. It's true of everybody. You may get all the big crowds, but you may not get the votes. But you have to this is a process. It's part of the reaching out to people. And eventually people decide a week, 5 days, 3 days just before they go into vote, after having had a taste of everybody. So it's too early to say anything, but certainly I can say that, and with confidence because I've been there, the response of the people, you look into their eyes, there is some hope. And this 27 years, where the BSP and the SAPA and the BJP has done, UP has not developed as it ought to have.
But still you're going, what about this, I'll talk about the Congress flank a little later, the Mahagathbandhan that is being talked about. Prashant Kishore met Mulayam Singh recently. Does he...
Well, this is being talked about. I mean, I think it's more of an assumption talk, assuming talk kind of thing. But to the best of my knowledge, nothing concrete has as yet emerged. It may be in the future, it may or may not. And it's for the leaders to decide.
But Prashant Kishore met Mulayam. Did he have the leader's mandate? Did he have Rahul's mandate? Why did he go?
I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Because somebody's sources are telling us he did not have the party mandate to actually go and negotiate an alliance.
Well, probably he's done it on his own, I don't know, because Prashant Kishore, very often being the advisor or, a person who runs runs it not politically only, but also as a, somebody who seems to give ideas of how we should campaign and how you should do what and when and how. In that context, he may have gone. But I have no idea whether he had the mandate of anybody.
There's a lot of confusion in this campaign because there is one Prashant Kishore talking, one the Congress voice talking.
No, I don't. Why is there a confusion? I don't think the Congress has spoken anything which is not Congress.
But for instance, this whole confusion about Priyanka Gandhi, that she will be she will be the first chief ministerial face. Then, that didn't happen. You became the chief minister face. Then she will be a star campaigner. So there's a whole lot of information that is being leaked by sources close to, say, Prashant Kishore. Then sources in the KICC will contradict it. So this is taking away from your main narrative.
No, but then you see, you must understand, yes, yourself, it is information that is being leaked.
So you
added... unless a decision takes place and an implementation has to be done, like a decision was taken to make Ghulam Nabi this, Raj Babbar that, me this something else, and Sanjay Singh and Pramod Tiwari, this was a group that was created. Now that was an official creation, that the party decided and announced it. Now the rest is all just, guesswork or, a word slipping in from here or a sentence coming out from there. There's nothing, till something happens in politics. The rest are all assumptions. And with such a vast and large media, both of the television as well as written media, speculations are bound to happen.
Okay, another speculation is, why is the Congress looking for a Mahagathbandhan? Because you have a CM face. Where would that leave you? Because if there is a Mahagathbandhan, Mulayam will, or somebody from there.
I think that is something for the High Command to think about.
Confusion nahi hai strategy ka. First they have a CM face, then they say we'll go in for a Mahagathbandhan, or there's talk of it.
No, on the face of it, yes, you're saying it looks contradicts itself. But on the other hand, if their necessity arises, if you feel that we should get together like you got together in Bihar or somewhere, if you feel that politically it would be much more, much wiser and better to get more seats, all of us together. Because one thing is they're all not communal parties. You see, one thing is they're not communal parties. And you have to fight communalism. And if you want to do that, then changes can always take place in a thought process, A situation can become different. So
you personally would have no problem with that?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But it depends on what the talks are like. If the talks have started, I'm not even sure whether the talks have started.
And why not the BSP? You're talking about anti-communal parties, as you say. So why not talk to the BSP also? Or is Mayawati not interested?
No, but there will be, if there's a Gathbandhan, then Mahagathbandhan as you call it. The Mahagathbandhan will mean all, at least secular parties getting together. Then I'm sure Mayawati will not be left out or anything like that.
Do you think so? Like Lalu and Nitish came together, Mulayam and Mayawati, there's so much bad blood, they would not come together, especially.
Well, there's blood, but Mulayam doesn't have the best of blood with everybody, except the blood has now come into their own into their own
within
family.
Their own system.
So that is there. So things change, and then the idea of any political party is to win an election or to win it as much as you can. For that, you may have to change your philosophy, your friends, your enemies. What is your friend today may become your enemy tomorrow. So these are situations which are natural to politics.
Well, another is the question of Priyanka Gandhi. Would she be campaigning at all? Because, we are told, for one, publicly we are told that she's taking part in some deliberations. What is her involvement in Uttar Pradesh? Will she be campaigning?
Well, you see, the party wants her. The workers want her, the leaders want her. They certainly will. And she would add a lot of, she will be a very, very big asset. But it is for her to take a decision. And she has not conveyed her decision as yet.
Because the fact, no disrespect to your campaign, but also the fact is that Congress is not putting up as great a campaign as we had expected it to earlier.
Well, we put the greatest campaign so far. Is the bus yatras and all have been started after we started ours.
But despite that, whether it's the after effect of the surgical strike or whatever, whatever surveys have come out are putting BJP at a much stronger position, and the campaign has not even started, as you said. So they're already getting the lead. So in a situation like this, does it make sense for a Priyanka to come forward?
Please remember one thing, that BJP is the ruling party at the center. And they don't even have a leader in UP to project as yet.
They have, but they're not projecting him.
Whatever it may be. So there is no leader who has been projected. Sapa has a leader who has been projected, Akhilesh
or not. We don't know who.
But you have one or two leaders. Mayawati's got her own, BSP's got, we've got my face. So that's the only party that hasn't got it.
UP is a curious state. Other factors are also at play here.
Like?
Well, the vote bank politics, and Rahul has ceded to those. Why did he visit Ayodhya for the first time?
No, but vote bank politics is always there, whichever it may be.
But in UP, there may be a bit more than the others.
Well, UP certainly has got a lot more thinking on caste lines. That is there. That is there. But otherwise, every election, you're looking for votes, and you try and reach out to voters as many as you can, because you are looking for a win.
This surgical strike, has it,
well, to some
goodwill
extent,
of it, or the fallback of
in
it
the
at the
cities,
BJP?
yes, perhaps. In the cities, but I don't think it's had much of an impact on in the rural areas. The urban areas, yes, maybe. And even that, you see, is becoming what a story which is going on and on and on. What is happening to Kashmir? Schools haven't opened there for over 110, 115 days. The situation there is very bad. And your armed forces are being killed. And what is the purpose of it all? Nobody is able to understand what these strikes are about. Is it only to win an election, or to, send a message to the people, those who are going to vote, that we are strong, these surgical strikes?
But in the mood that is today, it has a good reverberation.
No, there is an absence of total credibility about it, if I may put it that way. People think it's there, but how much its credibility is there?
You are still doubting the strikes today.
Sorry?
You are still doubting the strikes.
I am not. The people generally they're confused. They don't know why or what is happening. Because there's also this feeling that these strikes have always happened. It happened at all times.
So there is a Congress narrative that is also playing.
You never trumpeted it. Now it's being trumped about. So there are some question marks, there are some doubts, whether it is being politically, used or not used.
But definitely, they said the defense minister is going to campaign in UP. Home ministers, obviously, they're already. So they're going to use it 100%.
Wherever an election takes place, if you're in government,
defense minister Manoj Parrikar from Goa to campaign in UP, he's obviously, they want to play up the surgical strike. Nito, why else?
No, but you see, ministers campaign all the time. Even when the Congress government is there, or any government is there, or Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government was there.
But the kind of ministers
all
they
ministers
put forward
do go. And if you think a particular minister is because of the, departments that he heads, is more effective than others, then you send them. So that is nothing unusual or anything, new about it.
Okay, this Samajwadi family drama that we saw played out, who will it benefit the most? Because, we are told that it's really Mayawati who's going to get the benefit of this.
At the moment, that's what you all are assuming. That you see if people
What is your feedback?
No, but this thing is that at the moment it's too early to say anything. Because there is a battle going on, no doubt about it. It has brought them, their attractiveness down a little bit, no doubt about it. But how are they going to do it now? They're starting a yatra, they've got a meeting coming on, and they've changed some things and they've taken back some things. So it's primarily a family feud. Are they going to be able to solve it, if they are able to solve it? And because I think I read today or yesterday that Akhilesh is going to be the chief ministerial candidate. So
there's still confusion on that one.
So there's confusion. You used a very correct word. There's confusion on it, so you can't come to any final decision as yet. So let them come out of their confusion.
Whom would the Congress prefer? We are told Rahul says, some people have told us Rahul would prefer Akhilesh rather than Mulayam.
Well, they certainly, because so would I, Everybody, even though, I'm probably nearer Mulayam's generation than Akhilesh's. But I think he's been the chief minister for 5 years. And when you compare what he did and what his father did, there is a difference. And he's modern. He's of the era. But Rahul, and because he praised Rahul.
Which is I found very interesting,
yes,
that comment of Rahul's.
Yes, he praised Rahul twice over and said that he was great. And Rahul also said this is so there was a communication, whether it was personal or whether it was,
well,
for
public
press,
consumption, because it was
public consumption, it came out. For public consumption. So there is a respect for each other, an understanding with each other. How far it will go, I can't say. I really cannot say just now. It's too early.
We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, I'm going to ask you more about the Rahul-Akhilesh chemistry and also that comment of Rahul Gandhi's, whether it has, jettisoned the Congress campaign or done it some good. But after a break. Welcome back to Cover Story. We are in conversation with the Congress's Chief Ministerial Face for Uttar Pradesh, Mrs. Sheila Dikshit. Welcome back, ma'am. Before the break, we were talking about the Rahul Akhilesh chemistry, or the recent chemistry between the two. But that comment of Rahul Gandhi that Akhilesh has endorsed, people are saying that to use such a phrase, he's kind of jettisoned his whole campaign. All that Khat Yatra he did, development plan, jo bhi bola, one comment has just messed up things.
I don't know. I think there is a tendency to pick up, not the good part of it. All right, there may be a slip of the tongue or whatever you may call it.
But there is a good part in Khoon Ki Dalali.
Khoon Ki Dalali is okay. The word Dalali is, not a very
people are linking it to that Maut Ka
Swada. But look at what he managed to do. Look at the hope that he raised in the farmers, and look at the way the farmers have reacted to him, and look at the meetings that he had with them. This will be forgotten, and this thing is there. Sometimes, very often, a word is used which you do not really mean to use, but it comes out. So that sort of a thing. But to make that more important than the yatras that he had, the crowds that he gathered over there. I mean, Aligarh, Azamgarh, all these places.
I grant you crowds, but a comment like that kind of takes away the whole narrative.
No, not one. It doesn't take away. Because everybody who is not your friend, who is your rival, political rival, they like to pick on something that
because
is
he's
negative.
asking for it's a direct attack on them. They would pick it up.
No, I don't think so. Why can't people look at the wonderful crowds that he do and the response that he got? I was in many of them, and I found the response was fantastic, just fantastic.
I'll tell you what the problem is. It shows a certain immaturity, off the cuff remark like that without weighing the options.
It's not immaturity. As I said, I wouldn't like to give an explanation for it or against it or anything like that. It just happened. I don't think he meant it at all.
Okay, back to the campaign. See, what the Congress is trying to do, I guess, is replay that farmers' loan waiver and the 2009,
yes.
The way it impacted,
yes.
Trying to replicate to some sort in UP. Yeah. The BJP is, hyping up the nationalistic card, with the surgical strikes, with this whole patriotic fervor. Which one is going to be working better? Because emotions always work better in an election.
BJP, I can tell you one thing, it is the election of a state. So what is happening in the borders does not impact the daily lives of these people here.
There is a communal angle to it also.
Now you see, no, they are a communal party, let's face that. But you see, how is it, the common woman or family, what is the patriotism that is coming out? I have not seen it. Yes, there's a lot of talk about it, there's a lot of discussion on the media about it. Every day you're talking about it. Why this is happening, I don't know. But why is this not happening, that Kashmir schools are not been open for so long? That there is unrest in Kashmir. Kashmir has never been so bad as it is these days. Nobody talks of that. But you pick on one word of Rahul Gandhi and go on with it. So you're not concerned and worried about the situation in Kashmir as such. That is what should worry. And you are trying to bring out these attacks that are there. Everybody knows that they've always been there, but they've never been trumpeted. They've never been talked about.
Fair enough. But see, you said that
now you said fair enough, so that's fair enough.
Okay, that's true. But also you said that the Samajwadi Party, you attacked it on the development card. You're saying the Congress wants to run this election on development lines. BJP is being attacked for playing communal politics. Then why you want to align yourself with the Samajwadi Party, who hasn't done very well in development?
No, I'm not saying that they have done well. I'm saying, I'm criticizing that their development has been up to the mark at all. If you look at the basics of development, even that has not been there. Like teachers or, being paid, or, students not getting admission or being taught properly, or roads being very, very bad. All that is there. But the fact of the matter is that there are some things which have been done well, some things which are still require a lot of work. The only difference between what the other parties do and the Congress does is Congress does a lot of development. I mean, we lost an election the third time, and we lost it badly also. But the amount of work with the Manmohan Singh government and Sonia Gandhi presidentship did for India and brought it up is something that history will write it down, and be all aware of it. Don't forget it, please. Just because it happens to be Congress, and probably Congress may not be the flavor of the day for many people.
With some reason, I mean, history will also then take into account why you were voted out, all these corruption charges. But
no, but you are, in democracy, you get voted in and voted out. What's so strange about it? After all the work that we did, the Congress did in Delhi, we got voted out.
Yes.
And today itself, the people are regretting it.
No, very good point. That was going to be my last question. Is today, I've been talking to people. They said if Mrs. Dixit stands from Delhi, she would be voted back. So why waste you in Uttar Pradesh? Why not keep you for Delhi? I'm not understanding the thinking of your party.
There's no election in
3 years later.
3 years, 4 years later, Baba. So there's at the moment.
You can start your work now.
I do belong to UP. I have a right over UP.
I won't say fair enough again. You'll catch me. But
yes,
you have a point.
So there you are, and if the party thinks so, I obey it.
That's it. I don't understand your party. Say in Punjab, you have someone like Amrinder. You always say, I want to bring in a young person. You brought in Bajwa. He didn't really measure up. So you got in Amrinder. Here you want to bring in Makhan. I don't know how much he's measuring up. People are still talking about you. So what is the Congress up to? Why are you not, undermining your good players, trying to promote some young at the cost of the old guard, just because you want to bring in new faces?
Now, for instance, Bajwa is not such a youngster or anything like that. So but this happens in politics. Look, I'll tell you, you have a certain phase and a certain situation where in your wisdom you think that X is the best or P is the best, and that P may not be the best in another situation and X may not be the best in another situation.
But the elections is the one
leveling situation. Is there. We are all fighting election, and very, very seriously, please. Otherwise, why should we go out for 2.5 months traveling from one city to another, meeting our workers, talking to them and getting a good response, telling them what Congress stands for, telling people out there. So they've seen it all, and this, the realization, I think whoever, this 27 Saal Congress Behal, is something which everybody, understood and connected with, because really UP is Behal. It's the country's largest state and it's somewhere at the bottom these days, third or fourth or something at the bottom.
Okay, last question on national politics. The Congress, we were told Rahul Gandhi would take over as president. Now we are told this may not happen and Mrs. Gandhi will continue for another year. So why is this happening? Every time Rahul is poised to take over, he doesn't take over. Is the Congress not ready for him? Is he not ready for the Congress?
This is left to the wisdom of the Congress Working Committee, and above all the chairman of the Congress Working Committee, which is Sonia Gandhi. And there are senior leaders like Antony and Manmohan Singh and others, who decide if they take a decision that it should continue for another year, so be it. What is the problem with it? And Rahul is in any case the vice president. The day all these people in the working committee think that he should become the president, it will happen. I don't see why this should become a matter of discussion or a matter of some sort of why should it be discussed at all? It's the prerogative of the party to whoever you have Mr. Amit Shah. In spite of his background, you have him as the president of the BJP. Why do you have him? What is his background? And you have both people from Gujarat itself.
Well, one is now from UP, so he says, your state.
So you see, this is the whole thing, that things happen in politics because the party concerned and the leaders concerned think that is the requirement for the moment. There you are.
We'll see how long that moment lasts. But thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
And that's it from us. Thank you for watching this show. We'll see you again same time next week.